Cherie's Alchemy. I'm here today with a quick fabric haul. All of these fabrics are from Fabricmartfabric.com, and two of the fabrics that I'm going to show you, the last two fabrics I'm going to show you actually, are fabrics that I'll be using for my first ever Fabricista make. So if you're interested in seeing some really lovely fabrics, stay tuned. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm so excited to share with you guys this new fabric haul. I mentioned in one of my earlier videos that I'm really happy to be one of the 2021 Fabricista makers for Fabricmart fabric. And so what happens there is that all the Fabricistas get to pick fabric from their website, and we make up things, and then there'll be a blog post featured on the Fabricmart Fabrics blog featuring our make. And I should tell you guys, a lot of time Fabricmart, they're getting fabrics that are fabrics that were ordered by designers. So, you know, they get in varying amounts of fabric. Sometimes you'll go on and you'll see 100 yards available. Sometimes there'll be 2 yards available. Some things move really quickly, and others, you know, they sit there for a while. And so just be aware that some of the things I'm going to share with you may not be available anymore. I will put links in the description box, and maybe I'll copy that and also put it in the comments if you have trouble finding the description box. And I'll link to as much as I can find, but just be aware of that. I might be sharing some things. These are all pretty new. These came in probably 3 weeks ago. So they're pretty new, but some of them were on clearance. And so just be fair warned that some of these may not be available. And like I said at the intro, I will be showing you the fabrics that I'll be using for my first Fabricista make as well. So what happened was I went on the site. It was time for me to make my selection so they can get them out. My first project will be featured on their blog at the end of March. And so I went on and I picked the fabrics. And then, of course, while I was there, I couldn't help but start browsing and adding other things to my cart. Actually, the browsing happened while I was looking for the fabrics that I wanted to use for my project, right? And so I was finding more fabrics than I could actually get for the project. And then next thing I knew, there was like this whole story going on in my cart. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just getting these. They're phenomenal fabrics at phenomenal prices. And what I hope will happen at the end of me sewing all these up is I'll have a really cool mix and match collection that I can wear from this. So let's get started. The very first fabric that I'm going to show you guys is this black fabric. Yes, I know it's black. It's black, but this is gorgeous quality fabric. This is a black wool and Lycra stretched twill. It's suiting weight fabric, imported from Italy, 58 inches wide. I got 3 yards and it was $12 a yard. The hand on this is gorgeous. And I intend to make just a pair of slacks with this. And with 3 yards in that width, I could probably get a pair of slacks as well as a skirt out of this. So these will be just two basic anchor pieces that I can mix in this little collection. And then the next one I'm going to show you is this fabric here. This was one of those ones, right? I got there was 1 yard left, and I knew from the title, the description, that this was going to be a gorgeous fabric, and it is. And I might have to go on the site to see if they have this kind of fabric in other colors available, because wow, this is just a really high quality fabric. This is a porcelain white rayon and Lycra double crepe suiting. It says Couture, New York City designer. It was $5.95 a yard, and I got the last yard available. And the texture, the weave, it's just, the hand is so good. And so with 1 yard in that width, I'm hoping that I can get just a cute, just straight pencil skirt out of this that'll be just a good, again, basic anchor piece for this mix and match wardrobe that's going to come together. Next up is this, again, black, but 100% linen fabric. I don't have many all black linen pieces in my closet, and it is a fabric that I really do like to wear in summer and spring. And so this one is 57 inches wide. I got 4 yards. It was $11.99 a yard. And I intend to make this jacket. Now, in the video previous to this, I showed you the 9 items that I picked for my Make 9 2021 challenge. And I told you that this was one of my next projects. So this Liszette trench jacket pattern was going to be a new spring jacket for me, and it'll be in this black linen. So in case you missed the video, this is Butterick 6331, but you should definitely check that out. I share some cool patterns and projects that I'm going to be doing for my Make 9 2021 in that video. So that is going to be just a great outerwear piece for me to transition into spring with. Next fabric I'm going to show you is this fabric, and look at that. This is so lovely. I wish you could feel it. And then the best part of this is, listen to what kind of fabric this is, guys. White, gray, and black, 100% cotton boucle plaid suiting. 100% cotton boucle is very hard to find, at least for me. Online, I mean, I've never. This is a New York City designer, 64 inches wide. I got 3 yards, and it was $7 a yard. Yeah, wonderful deal. And so let me show you the 2 jackets that I'm thinking about making with this 3 yards of fabric. I'm going to choose between these 2 probably. This is what I narrowed it down to. I showed you guys this in my one of the later McCall's pattern hauls, and I love everything about this jacket. And I thought with that, you know, pattern that could give you some cool visuals with this kind of like notched in V-shaped jacket. This though I love, and I feel like I could play around with the direction of the print here, or just pattern match it to have that line up well. But I like the simplicity of this jacket. You can see it's hard to see the line drawings, but it just has princess seams in the front and the back. This one has like a little peplum type back, and that's the front with the V. So they both, I mean, they're okay as far as the amount of seams that I'll have in this jacket that'll break up the pattern. But I do feel like I want something kind of semi-fitted with this, and just not something, you know, if you make something boxy and loose, you can kind of, you know, cut something that doesn't cut into the pattern that much. But at the same time, I feel like I want something a little bit more structured. So that's what I'm thinking with these, with this fabric, making one of these. So do me a favor, if you have an opinion, let me know in the comments below. Should I use McCall's? Should I use McCall's, the McCall's jacket pattern, or should I use this Vogue jacket pattern? Let me know what you think. Next. This here. I got a lot of this, because my intention with this is to make a dress as well as a top. This is the dress pattern that I pulled. If all goes as planned, I will have this dress made before this video goes up, because this was my project for the Black History Month Designers Challenge. As you can see, I haven't cut it out yet. I'm a little bit behind, but we'll see if I get this made. If I don't get it made in time, you know, by the 28th, I'm still going to make it. But that's what I'm intending to do. If you haven't seen this pattern before, it's so beautiful. It's a Tracy Reese pattern. wonderful designer that happens to be African American. And this is Vogue 1625. So anyway, back to the fabric. So I wanted, that dress takes like 4.5 yards of fabric. And then I know I definitely want to make a top, possibly like a wrap front top. That's what I was thinking. So I got 8 yards of this because it was on sale for $3.99 a yard. And this is a black and white 100% rayon tiny pebble print challis. And it's 58 inches wide. So I can do a lot with that. And again, it's just, Fabricmart has some really great rayons often. Like, I haven't bought one that I haven't been happy with. So love, love, love that. And then I'll show you this one. This fabric was like a deal of the century. And it's one of those things that are so different from me. I don't sew with a lot of sheer fabrics, but I have a couple of blouses, ready-to-wear blouses that have, well, one of my favorite actually has sheer sleeves. Love that. I think that's something that I got from Ann Taylor. And then I have another top where the whole shirt is sheer and it has a little camisole that's attached at the shoulder. And so I've bought some things that are made with the sheer netting, and I always love them because it's kind of like, it's light and airy, but I tend to run cold. And so I still feel like I have something like on me in case there's a chill. And so I picked this up to force myself to sew something different. And look at that. It's a netting fabric that has these beautiful, almost like Swiss dot kind of stitching in it. And so I thought, you know, if I played around this with sleeves, if I made a skirt maybe that had an overlay, I could do so many fun things like that. And again, trying to sew things that are a little less just like basic and a little fun. So this is called a black 100% nylon dotted netting. It's by Millie, wonderful designer fabric, 44 inches wide. I got 10 yards and it was $1 a yard. Yeah, deal of the century. I can't even tell you how excited I am that I snagged that. Like, wow. So I'm really, really excited about that. And again, with 10 yards, if I make something, I mean, with $1 a yard, if I make something and it's a dud, you know, hopefully I can salvage it. But if I can't, it's not a huge loss, right? Next. I mentioned that I'm trying to add some stripes into my life over on Instagram. And so I saw this striped fabric and I'm like, it fits the theme. And it was actually one of the fabrics that I was originally thinking about using for my Fabricista Make project. Because again, like, go ahead and pick that fabric, sew that different thing that you claimed you were going to do. I always go for solids and florals, sometimes some geometrics, but I just don't wear a lot of stripes unless it's just like a basic striped t-shirt. And so anyway, found this one. I like the tones of it. It's a black, it says white, but it's actually more of like it's a very soft white. So it's not like that harsh contrasting between black and white on this one. This is a black and white rayon nylon Lycra, horizontal stripe double knit, New York designer. I got 4 yards and it was $6 a yard. Machine washable. Just lovely. I mean, basic black and white stripe, right? But I don't know. I got enough in case I wanted to like play with, you know, orienting the stripes a little bit differently. Or if I wanted to make like a maxi dress, but this is a little heavier, thicker than I thought it was going to be. So I got to think about what exactly I'm going to make with that, but I'm excited to add that to this collection. And then I got this one in a stripe also. Let me show you the true color. So again, another black and white stripe, but very different looking. This one also, oh, the hand is so good. Like, you know, you can feel when it's a quality fabric. This one is called Alabaster, Black Viscose, Polyester, Elastin. So that means it has a little bit of stretch in it. Vertical stripe, stretch suiting. There was only 1 yard that it was said available, but it was the end of the bolt. So this is like, this looks like it's almost 2 yards actually. Oh, thank you, Fabricmart. And they'll do that when it's the end. They'll say, lucky you, you know, you got the end of the bolt. Enjoy the extra beyond what you ordered for free. So I ordered 1 yard. It looks like I got almost 2 yards. And this was $5.25 a yard. When I got the 1 yard, I feel like it was all that was left in their inventory. And so I was thinking, again, just some kind of basic skirt, or maybe some kind of, you know, shell of a top that doesn't take a lot of fabric. But now that I have so much, I'm definitely going to rethink this, because I bought a McCall's sleeveless shirt dress pattern that buttons straight down the front. And I think this might be enough fabric for that. And that would be cute. That would be really cute. So I have to check on that. Okay, now let's get to the last 2 fabrics, which I told you at the beginning. These are the 2 fabrics that I chose for my Fabricista make, which again will be shared at the end of March. So this was the first fabric that I chose. And I don't know how or why I even saw this, but this is what started everything. Maybe it was in the sales section, but this is what started the like, oh, let's go with black and white. Couple things have been in my head, and I'll explain all this when I share with you the actual makes for the Fabricista thing. But just a little bit of background. 2 of my favorite designers had put out spring collections that, or maybe it was their late fall collections. They recently put out collections that were dominated by black and white. I don't know why. I just was like, I need more black and white in my life. So I'm working on a red collection, and my next collection was going to be all black pieces. And then as I was putting that together, I'm like, oh, I need some other stuff in here, some other basics. And so I was going to do a black and white collection. And so again, that idea that I would make some foundation pieces that I can mix and match throughout my wardrobe, but I always need really good black pieces and I need more good white pieces. So anyway, I mean, I saw this pattern, I saw the texture. I'm all up in your faces, but you gotta see this. I mean, I was just like, what is this fabric? And then I go, you know, looking at the description, and I see that it's like, okay, let me tell you the exact thing. It's called a pearl and black polyester nylon linear loops design brocade. And I'm like, this looks so expensive. It looks so luxe. I got 3 yards of it. It was $6 a yard. Yeah. I couldn't even believe the price. And so I knew, like, this is going to be the fabric that's going to be the beginning of my project. And then the other fabric that I got to go with, and I got a lot of this because I want to make several pieces with this, but it's just a basic white. This is a rayon. I don't know what it's blended with, but it's a suit weight twill. Gorgeous. You hear me? Like, you can't see through it at all, right? You see? Totally opaque, very high quality, and that's going to be the beginning of the look. Now, this is out of box for me, because I should say, y'all, I'm kind of clumsy. Like, not clumsy, like I'm not falling around a lot. I mean, I do trip over my own feet sometimes, but that's too much information. But I'm that person. Like, as soon as I put on anything white, unless I'm sitting totally isolated in a bubble and not moving, I I mean, within 5 minutes, there's something on my white. And it's like, did I even drink or eat? Like, how did this get here? The lipstick smell, like somehow something gets on my white. And so if I'm wearing white, it's because I have to wear white. Like I'm a part of a couple organizations where we have to wear ceremonial white sometimes. Or I have on white, but then I have something on top of it. And so this is like going to be interesting for me to sew with. But I don't know. I saw this. I almost got black, but I'm like, of course you would get black. And again, it's like, Cherie, do stuff that's different. One of the suits from the designer that I loved, one of the versions that they did was actually in white. And I've gone back to the website and I've looked at that white suit so many times. And so I'm like, yeah, just go for it. Like that's the whole point of the Fabricista makes, is to showcase stuff that's very different and try to inspire people to sew stuff that's different, right? And so start with myself. I'm inspiring myself to do something different. So yeah, that is the beginning of the story. And let me show you guys real quick a couple of the patterns that I'm thinking about using. I'm not going to show you what I plan on making with these two Fabricista fabrics. You're going to have to wait till the end of March to see those. But let me just show you a couple of things that are on my mind for some of the other fabrics. Definitely want to use something to make this or this. And I should say, I have some other fabrics that I'm not showing you because they weren't a part of this haul. They're just in my stash that I'm also going to pull and incorporate into this collection. And so I have another one that I'm thinking about using this with, and then doing that trim, that contrast trim like that. I love that. So this pattern is Vogue 8926. It's an older Vogue pattern, but I feel like I still saw this on the website when I was doing my online shopping. So I think it's still available. But I love this. Look at the line drawings. This is just a great, lovely, universally flattering jacket blouse situation. So I'm going to make that. I'm going to make some things from this. This is one of those Butterick wardrobe collection patterns. Let me pull out the envelope to give you the true number. Is Butterick 6796. I'm not sure. I may have already had this in my collection, so I may not have shown that in that Butterick haul. I can't remember. But this you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pieces in this one pattern. You can see the little line drawings here. And so there's several things that I'm contemplating making from this. Then the final one I'm going to show you that I've pulled aside into this collection is this Vogue wardrobe collection. This is Vogue 9176. Love the pants here. I like the simple shell. I actually like this top. This would be a cute one to use with that sheer net fabric. You know, I could do sheer on the back or sheer on the sleeves or both. You know, I could do an overlay of the shell with that sheer netting. So thinking about a couple things from here. The line drawings are tiny on there, but just so you can see what I'm talking of. And again, this is Vogue 9176. Okay? So that's where I am. I hope you guys enjoyed this little sneak peek of what I'm going to be bringing for my Fabricista project. Oh, let me tell you guys real quick. I'm wearing a make, of course. This is, I think it's called the Nexus Blouse. It's an indie pattern. Is it from Cloth Patterns? Can't remember. Paper Cut Patterns, I think is the name. And it's called the Nexus Blouse, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'll need to do a little review on this because I'm definitely making it again and changing a couple things to fit a little bit better. Because as you probably noticed, I've been pulling at it because I went by the bust measurements, but it's like really, really loose. And it's actually the main issue for me is I feel like my shoulder, you know, I don't have these kind of shoulders. That my shoulders are really curved and they just slouch down. And so I feel like that's the main problem, is I need to make some adjustments in here. So it's not, because what happens then is it falls and then you're seeing all my under layers. But if I have it properly sitting, then I feel like it's very low. So anyway, but I still love it, partly because I just love the fabric. I love the cute cuff. I like blouses that cuff here because I don't like, you know, fabric like dangling in my stuff. And so the cuff is just a cute feature. You know, always fun when you get to use some buttons. You can't even see them here because I have black buttons. But it's a very comfortable and very easy to sew together. The only real thing about the blouse is if you've, you know, if you haven't done buttons before, but it goes together pretty quickly, very few pieces. So yeah, I'll show you guys. I think I've taken pictures in this before. If I have, I'll pop a picture so you can see what the bottom edge looks like. I'll pop a picture up here. But yeah, if you want to hear more about this Nexus blouse by Paper Cut Patterns, let me know in the comments, and I'll be sure to get a review together on that. But otherwise, I'm going to go out by just holding up a few of my beautiful fabrics. I'm so excited about this black and white collection. I'm excited to share my first Fabricista project with you all, as well as over on the Fabricmart Fabric blog. Remember to check the description box as well as the comments, and I'll try to leave links to some key pieces here. If you want more specifics on anything, let me know. Otherwise, yeah, I'll see you guys back here again soon, okay? Thanks so much for watching. Thanks also for the thumbs up and the comments. It's been really encouraging, you know. I've been thinking about starting this YouTube channel for so long, and I always shied away from it because, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't know all the things that you're supposed to do with editing and how to make it all fancy. And, you know, it's a lot. Like, I like watching YouTube videos, and it's funny because once you start making them, like, you really appreciate like everything that goes on when you see these like beautifully edited videos with pictures popping up everywhere. And yeah, so it's been fun. And I have to say, you know, you kind of need that sometimes, right? That kind of like, I always love to learn new stuff anyway. And so, but usually it's like making oriented. I mean, I guess I'm making videos, but it's like I have some like thing at the end of what I've learned. And so this has just been great mental work for me. And, you know, just a way to express a different kind of creativity, coming up with ways to do these videos and even thinking about what to share. So, but I still have a long way to go. So I appreciate your support and your encouragement. And I appreciate your comments, making suggestions about what more you want to see. So, you know, have at that. And I consider all things as I start to develop this channel here. So I really thank you guys for watching, especially if you watched this long. And I will be back soon. All right. Be well. Bye-bye.